This is the tutorial for the M&A Deal Desk. We begin at the front door of the platform. From the Services desk, we choose where to begin. Today, M&A Advisory, Deal Support, from first valuation to signed agreement. First, the platform asks which sector the target operates in. This single choice shapes every module that follows: the due diligence items, the warranty and indemnity terms. The regulatory clearances and the SPA analysis all become sector-specific. Pharmaceutical and life sciences, energy and natural resources, technology and software, financial services, and real estate. Here we select pharmaceutical and life sciences. Finally, we select the governing jurisdiction. Sextant operates across the major deal markets: English law, Delaware, Spain, Germany, the Netherlands, France, the European Commission merger regime, and onward through MENA and the Gulf financial centers. Each jurisdiction configures its own regulatory clearances, document templates, and output language for every phase of the transaction. Here, we proceed under English law. We arrive inside the deal desk, the working environment for the entire transaction. Down the left, the desk follows the life of the deal from beginning to end. It opens with preparation and strategy, moves through indicative offers and due diligence, into the drafting and negotiation of the transaction documents, then on to signing, completion, and the obligations that follow. Each phase opens into its own workspace, so the whole transaction advances in one ordered sequence. And within the same suite, the desk sits alongside valuation, financial modeling, and analytical tools. So the legal process and the numbers behind it live in one place. This is the Regulatory Clearance Monitor. We begin by describing the transaction, the size of the deal, the sector, and the profile of the target company. We can also ask the monitor to include the notification obligations before generating the analysis. The desk then maps every regulatory regime the transaction touches. Each authority receives its own assessment: national security review, competition clearance, the sector regulator, and data protection, with the position, the likely timeline, and the recommended approach for each. The monitor closes with the filing sequence, so the clearances can be planned from day one. We move into the pre-process phase with the Confidentiality Agreement. The desk drafts it from a short set of instructions, whether it is mutual or one-way, and the governing law. We then identify the parties, with each side's details entered once and carried through the whole document. The commercial terms follow: the duration of confidentiality and who may receive the information. With everything in place, the desk generates the agreement ready for review. The desk returns the full agreement, a complete draft, structured clause by clause. We can review every provision, the obligations, the exclusions, and the boilerplate, exactly as they will appear in the final document. And each clause remains editable in place, so the wording can be refined directly in the draft. When it reads as it should, the agreement exports to Word in a single step. The indicative offers desk works in just the same way. Here, a heads of terms or letter of intent. The form captures the deal structure, the parties, the consideration, and the binding provisions, exclusivity, costs, and confidentiality. Complete the terms just as before, and the desk generates the full heads of terms, ready for review, editing, and export. The same workflow from first input to finished document. The due diligence desk opens on the request list, a complete document request schedule, organized by work stream. Corporate, financial and tax, commercial, property, insurance, through to sector-specific pharmaceutical items, each ready to select and to export as a formal legal letter. The data room gap analyzer cross-references the data room index against the expected document set, showing exactly what is missing and what needs to be requested. And the due diligence tracker keeps the whole workstream on record. Create a new deal or load an existing one by its deal code to resume tracking at any time. This is the drafting and negotiation desk. It opens on the transaction document analyzer. Drop in a draft document, and the platform reads and analyzes it for you. Next, the share purchase agreement builder. Every clause family is set out for you, from interpretation and sale and purchase, through consideration, conditions, and completion, to warranties, limitations, and indemnities. You add exactly the provisions your transaction needs. The warranty and indemnity insurance assessment follows. Set the deal type and structure and generate the assessment. The negotiation position advisor works the same way. Define your position and it prepares the analysis. There is also a dedicated TUP assessment for transactions involving employee transfers. The tax deed and tax covenant module sets out what it prepares and the protections it covers before you generate the document. And finally, the shareholders agreement builder. The same clause-by-clause approach, from definitions and share capital, through board matters and transfer rights, to tag-along, drag-along, and restrictive provisions. Back in the Share Purchase Agreement Builder, you begin with the deal parameters, governing law, the parties, the target company, and the key commercial details of the transaction. As you work down the panel, you tick the clause families you want included, and the builder keeps everything organized on the right. Deal-specific provisions, such as the consideration mechanics, completion accounts, or a locked box structure, are set out individually, so you include only what your transaction requires. When your selections are complete, a single click generates every checked clause. The builder then produces the drafted text itself, full clauses in proper agreement style, from interpretation and sale and purchase, through consideration, conditions precedent, and completion. Each drafted clause sits alongside the remaining families, warranties, tax, restrictive covenants, and boilerplate, ready to review and export to Word. And this is the finished product. The exported agreement opens as a Word document, starting with a properly set cover page for the share purchase agreement. A full contents page lists every section you selected, from interpretation and sale and purchase through to counterparts. Scrolling through, the drafted text is complete and formatted, beginning with the interpretation and definitions. Conditions precedent, completion, and the post-completion obligations follow, each drafted from the parameters you set in the builder. Deal-specific mechanics, like the completion accounts mechanism and earn-out provisions, appear exactly as configured. The warranties, tax covenant, and specific indemnities carry through in full, alongside the restrictive covenants and boilerplate. The agreement closes with governing law, jurisdiction, and counterparts, a complete first draft, ready for review and negotiation. With the agreement drafted, the transaction moves to signing. The signing documents desk holds the deal details at the top and the full signing agenda underneath. Every document for signing is listed with its owner and status, from the share purchase agreement itself through disclosure letter, board minutes, and the ancillary documents. The Board Minutes tab prepares the resolutions for each party, approving the terms, authorizing execution, and appointing directors, all generated from the deal details. Then the completion checklist. Every completion step is tracked as an action item with the responsible party, deadline, and status. Regulatory clearance, financing, security releases, and key employee retention. Each item moves from outstanding to done as the deal progresses towards completion. At completion itself, the completion documents desk sets out everything to be delivered on the day, organized as a single agenda for the transaction. Each deliverable is listed with the responsible party and its status, share transfers, board minutes, resignations, certificates, and the ancillary deeds, so nothing is missed at the completion meeting. Then the statutory filings. The desk tracks every post-completion filing, from the stock transfer form and stamp duty through the company's house forms, each with its deadline counted from completion. With the filing scheduled and every document accounted for, the transaction closes in good order. After completion, the post-completion section keeps the transaction under control. It opens with the warranty claim letter for notifying the seller of a claim under the agreement. The letter is built from structured fields, the parties and their registered details, the agreement date, the warranties concerned, and the particulars of the claim, so notice is given precisely and within the contractual time limits. Alongside it, the post-completion tracker records every outstanding action after the deal has closed, each with its owner and deadline. And the deal timeline sets out the closing conditions and key milestones, from execution of the agreement through the long stop date, with the status of each condition visible at a glance. That completes the life cycle, from first contact to a closed and settled transaction. Beyond the deal process itself, the platform includes a full valuation workbench. This is the discounted cash flow model, with the assumptions on the left and the live 5-year build alongside. Every driver is set here. Revenue growth year by year, margin profile, capital expenditure, and working capital, then the cost of capital, the risk-free rate, equity risk premium, beta, and the target capital structure. The model recalculates instantly. Free cash flows are discounted at the weighted average cost of capital, the terminal value is added, and the header shows enterprise value, equity value, and the implied price per share. The Commentary tab turns the numbers into words. One click generates a structured valuation memorandum drafted around your own inputs and outputs. The memo follows a fixed institutional structure: executive summary, transaction context, cash flow analysis, cost of capital, terminal value, sensitivities, risks, and recommendation, each citing the specific figures from your model. From the Pitchbook tab, the analysis exports as a formatted deliverable, with a cover page, the transaction memorandum, and the supporting schedules. There are refinements throughout: a completion checklist for the workbook, notifications, and a full set of keyboard shortcuts for working at speed. And the reference library sits alongside, with a glossary, the formula library, and valuation guidance by sector, so the theory is always one click from the model. Everything you have just seen in the workbench exports to this, a fully built institution-grade Excel model, generated in seconds. No blank spreadsheet, no formatting hours, the cover sheet, the structure, the house style, all produced automatically from the inputs your analyst entered on the platform. Move through the tabs and you will find a complete working model, not a static printout. Every assumption sits in its own driver cell, ready to be flexed. The profit and loss build is fully linked. Revenue, margins, depreciation, tax, every line is a live equation, flowing through the statements exactly as an analyst would build it by hand, except no one had to build it by hand. The free cash flow schedule discounts every year with live formulae. Working capital movements, capital expenditure, the discount factors, all wired together. Change one input, and the entire model recalculates end to end. The cost of capital has its own dedicated sheet: beta, the risk premium, the debt and equity weights, every component traceable to its source, so your investment committee can interrogate each number. The valuation bridge takes you from enterprise value to equity value per share, with every adjustment shown and every cell linked back through the model. This is the pain point we set out to remove: the hours investment banks and private equity funds spend building and checking these mechanics. Here, the linkages are already done. Your team spends its time on judgment, not plumbing. And the sensitivity tables come ready-made, fully formatted, fully live. From platform to finished workbook in one click. That is the difference. To request a demonstration, contact us at sovereignharbor.co.